Welcome to the Ask Domnat show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern, the fastest 30 minutes of your day to make you an overall more informed person. My name is Dominique Pereira, but you might know me as Ask Domnat. Today we're taking a light show. I want to talk to you guys a little bit. You typically start off with like some heavy news and some politics. I don't even like to call it politics. I like to call it worlditics. Just what's happening in the world and how it affects me and affects you. But recently, man, I had something planned today, but Apple threw a snag, a little sneer in my plans. So, but we're going to talk a little bit of technology. We're going to talk about Vibe and Vibe coding, the tech world, and a company that a lot of you guys might be familiar with that went kaput, Chegg. All right, so let's get into the rundown. It's a short one. Today on April 29th rundown, we're going to talk about building products in the digital age. And that's it, really. I got 30 minutes with you guys. And we're going to talk about some tech news, because what I realize is I talk to so many people that just don't keep up with technology and how it affects them in their life. And the reality is that there are a lot of tools, there's a lot of companies, and there's a lot of things happening from a technology standpoint that's affecting you on a day-to-day that you might not realize. And if it's not affecting you or seemingly not affecting you, there's a lot of opportunity to make some money. And there's a lot of opportunity to lose some money too. As I've been investing in cryptocurrencies going up and down. Robinhood been crazy. Robinhood's been I saw yesterday went down like 10%. Let me see here. Where's my Robinhood like? But so these wild swings of money have been happening. Let me see here. Claim bonus on Robinhood crypto. Ooh, child, I'm down. I'm going to tell you exactly what my Robinhood is today. Robinhood app. What then eventually, look, you're going to start hearing Robinhood talking about some Robinhood markets. Hood, HOOD, is down 11% in one day, 18% in 1 week. Wow, that's crazy. 18%. Like this dip. I'm not even gonna get fancy with it. You can see how my okay, let me I don't know. I should have probably planned this better, but you can't see it's in reverse, but that's a dip, people. It's a like doop. So it's not all sunshine and roses. But let's get into it. The first thing, and then there's something legal wise. If you haven't been searching in incognito mode, this might change your mind. So let's get into the first thing that I kind of want to talk to you guys about, which is I'm going to share my screen here. I want to get your thoughts on this, right? Like, share. First article of the day that I want to talk to you guys about is U.S. Supreme Court appears split over controversial use of geofence search warrants. Now, what are geofence search warrants, guys? Geofence search warrants is when you're searching on Google, when you're using your iPhone, when you're on all these websites, hey, can we track your location, right? Yes. Now, what cops are doing is they're going to Google and they're saying, hey, we had a crime happen in this area. We need the data of everybody who was in this area on this date and time. What? So who do you have that was here on this date and time? So what's the Supreme Court considering right now? The Supreme Court, it's a case called I don't know how to pronounce their name, Chattery, whatever, Chattery versus United States. Ultimately, what it is, and I'm going to scroll to the bottom here. Okello Chattery, Virginia man convicted of 2019 bank robbery. Police at the time saw a suspect on the bank's security footage speaking on his cell phone. Investigators then served a geofence search warrant to Google, demanding that the company provide information about all of the phones that were located within a short radius of the bank and within an hour of the robbery. So that's you guys can't see that, right? Like that's what I just red right here. That's wild, because what's happening is, if you are in an area, you're just depositing. You're just taking your money out, your whatever, you're doing the right thing. You're all of a sudden now the police are saying, hey, we need information about everybody who was in this area. And this started in 2016. Investigators started using this geofence, federal search thing in 2016, and then it really started picking up in 2018, where most of the search warrants now are geofence search warrants. So let me know, what do you guys think? Is this good, bad? Do you not care? Is it weird? Because the problem, what is the problem with this? The problem is, most of the data that people are going to get, or that the police department is going to get, is of people who have nothing to do with this crime. If you look at how warrants typically work, warrants are like, hey, we have a suspicion that this guy lives in this house, and we have this suspicion because of this, and this. Bon dia, mano. ¿Cómo estás? Mr. Fireball 619 tapping in. So we have suspicion that this person is doing this, and we need access to this person's phone, and we need access to this person's address or house. Now it's, hey, we have an area, everybody in this block, we need their phone data of everybody in this block, everybody in this radius at this time. And everything that you do on your phone is now tracked. Google, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. All these apps are tracking you. Do you want to now? I don't got nothing to do with it, but the police are looking into me. And just by that virtue, I'm like, screw that. So I feel torn about it, because I, right now, talking to y'all, I say, heck no, overreach, really weird. But if I was involved in a crime and I call the police and I say, hey, look, this and this happened to me or somebody I love, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, man, we can't really figure it out, but we know that they were on TikTok store at when they were committing your crime. And then I'm like, call TikTok, see who. Can't they tell us? They're like, yeah, TikTok could tell us, but because of that landmark Supreme Court case, they don't have to. I'm like, no, like, help me. Like, so I understand doing everything you can to find a person, but that's maybe why these things are hard, because at the end of the day, you have to look at the overreaching, like the extremes on both sides. The extremes could be mass surveillance, mass incarcerations of people who have, because you were at the wrong place at the wrong time, and you just happen to be logged on to your freaking app store account. Now, all of a sudden, you're implicated. You're getting asked questions, and sometimes these police officers, they're not that genuine. They're just asking you a question. You think you're being helpful. They're really putting a case on you. You're like, oh, yeah, I was here, and I thought I saw this, and that. You're talking, blah, blah, blah. You don't realize you need a lawyer now just because your phone was in the radius. So Google, Apple, all these companies are I think they're fighting it. And if I was them, I would absolutely fight it. This is horrible for Google. This is horrible for Apple. Why? Because you got guys like me that's like, well, you got three types of people. You got people that are just like, yeah, I don't care. I'm not going to change how I use my device, right? Like, whatever, my data. You got people that are, imagine somebody who's on OnlyFans caring about how people view their data. Right? Like, no, their privacy is not their concern. The creators, that is. Maybe some of the users are like, ooh. But then you got guys like me that are like, skeptical of everything that has to do with an agency tracking me. I don't like it. I don't want to keep it away from me. I don't want you guys to have, I don't do anything wrong. I mind my business. You mind yours. Don't get me implicated. And that's where I'm at. And then you got guys that are in the complete, like even further extreme, that just like, yo, I hate the government. I hate people tracking me. Like, don't put my name on anything that don't got nothing to do with me, blah, blah, blah. So when you have those users and people like me, if there's an alternative, right? Like there's DuckDuckGo, there might be more sound alternative to privacy that may make me just use those things instead. So once Google starts realizing, and then OpenAI, all these searches that people are doing, are they going to start being, warrantable, subpoenable? Or are they going to start having to hand over this data? People are like asking real personal questions on this. Now, do they want courts to have access to that? This is an interesting case here because it's throwing, because it's not only like, oh, we want to search Dominique Pereira's OpenAI questions. No, it's we want a list of everybody that asked this type of question on this day. We want a list of everybody, and then we want to see what their search history was. What? That's a big rate. Like, do your jobs, investigators. Figure it out. But if somebody robbed me on Tuesday, at 12 noon, then yeah, I can see me personally saying, hey, OpenAI, who was searching how to rob AskDomNat on Monday? I mean, I would, yeah, please provide me that information. So I'm torn because I don't like it unless it affects me. And that's the ethos of most companies. But these companies aren't infallible. These companies can lose. Because they ride high. Google makes a lot of money. OpenAI, Apple make a lot of money. But goes into our second article of like companies that don't change, that don't see the trends and don't follow the people. And guess what? This company Chegg. Let's see here. Let me change my screen. Share screen. Boom. Chegg. If you guys aren't familiar with Chegg, they were like a study group type of college. They're used in college quite a bit. Let me see. What year were they really big? 2021. I was out of school. Jesus, I'm old. But I was out of school long before then. But the issue is, hold on, throw that comment up. The issue is they say one thing and do another. If it was actually what it was, for perhaps people would be more willing, but the trust has been eroded. Absolutely. There's no trust in these companies because they don't look at you. They look at you as a number. They look at you as like an ad. They're like, your data is the asset. All right. And they don't really care about your privacy because I'm going to zoom out here, because they sell your privacy. I think the problem that they're having is that these police departments want to get access to your data without paying for it. If the police department starts paying for it, they're going to start handing that stuff over like hotcakes. So yes, I am. That's why I find technology so interesting, because somebody's going to come out with a system. There was actually a podcast about a guy who came out with a phone. It was like a black untraceable phone. It was like a WhatsApp, right? Like phone app, communication app. And people started using it for a lot of like illicit stuff. And then the FBI knocked on this guy's door like, hey, you made this app. We think there's a lot of cartel members. There's a lot of like, nefarious stuff going on here. We need your help to track these guys down. And I think they pinned him to a corner and basically said, if you don't help us, you're going to be complicit in some of these crimes. You're going to get jail time, blah, blah, blah. They don't do that to big companies, but that's why I think you don't see as many competitors out there, because yeah, why don't you just create an app, Google-like app? Now it's super easy, where it's like, yo, we can't even give you the data because we don't track it. And that's why people use us. But there's companies like Chegg that don't change. They don't adjust. So Chegg was worth $14 billion at its peak. What is Chegg? Chegg is once a go-to platform for students seeking homework help. It is now being described as one of the first major companies to be severely hit by generative AI. By April 2026, its market value had collapsed, its workforce shrunk, and its core business model is under pressure. More importantly, it went from $14 billion valuation to almost nothing. Almost nothing. Its market cap dropped to just over $100 million. Now, $100 million is still a lot of money, but when you go from 14 billion to 100 million, it's that's a difference of $14 billion. I mean, like that's a crazy amount. That's like 99% of your value gone. And why? Because now people are like, oh, I don't need to pay. The way this work is that they were paying for answers. Students were paying for answers, and now ChatGPT came on, and people could just get these answers for free. If you look at the decline, workforce dropped by 30%, revenue. Hold on, let me read this entire thing. The decline was not just reflected in the stock price. May 2025, Chase cut around 22% of its workforce after reporting 30% drop in its revenue. A few months later, in October 2025, it announced another round of layoff, this time affecting 45% of the remaining employees. So let me ask you guys a question. What are you guys liking this AI boom? What are your thoughts on this AI startup thing? Because it's helping a lot of people. Let me take this off. It's helping a lot of people. It's helping a lot of companies, but it's hurting a lot of people. When we're looking at all of these new AI startups, their goal is to reduce workforce. Their goal is to increase profits, but increase profits for who? Not for you and me. It's for the CEOs and for the investors. And most of us aren't invested in these companies. So is AI truly helping people? And I think it is, but to the degree that it's making certain things in our day-to-day easier, yes, but it's also allowing us not to think about the negative impacts, right? Like obviously we're talking about a lot of data centers that are being opened up. A lot of people don't want these big data centers in their neighborhoods. Now going to the farm out in Jersey, I just passed these big warehouses and they're popping up everywhere. They're like 1, 2, 3, and then they're not really. I wish one thing that we could do, like, and put up a picture of one of these data centers, right? Like, let me see here. AI data center building. What maybe we ought to do is make these data centers like dual use, because some of these things are hideous. They just look like these big rectangular boxes, industrial centers. They're gray and white, no windows, and it just is an eyesore. And I think we're gonna regret these in 10 to 20 years. Like, why? It looks like all these freaking industrial buildings in the middle of the city. And then there's the storage hubs and so forth. All right. What if because we would enjoy it more if they were actually, let's see here, maybe, oh my gosh, hold on. I'm going to get to that comment here in a bit. But, okay, here. AI data center. Look how ugly that thing looks. Look how ugly that looks, right? Like that's just now if it's just 1 or 2, that's fine. But now I'm seeing them everywhere. You're driving down the road, these are everywhere. And I wish if it was designed as a dual use, maybe like there's so much space there, right? Like what can you do to really make it inviting and beneficial for the community? Because when you're talking about these data centers being opened up, some of them are empty for a long time. I've seen this, like if I'm just going through Jersey, I'm seeing these buildings, 72,000 square feet available, 1,000,000 square feet available, and these things are just empty for months on end. So what was the benefit to the community? They were talking about hiring a bunch of people, but these things don't hire a lot of people. These storage facilities don't hire a lot of people, a couple hundred maybe, if that. But and then they're trying to use AI to reduce the workflow. But the resources they're taking from the community, from what I'm hearing, I mean, we're still so early on, but the resources that they're taking are like literally power utilization. They're water utilization. We don't know how all of this is going to affect our health, which is most important long term, right? Like you can't trust these companies to do the right thing because they're always going to be seeking the profit. So I would love to see these data centers incorporated. Like Aaron, put up a picture of like Hudson Yard in New York. Hudson Yard, like maybe dual use, like it's inviting for the community. Okay, underneath, yes, there's data's being censored, whatever that means. There's AI compatibility happening, but make them green spaces. Make them green spaces. Make them inviting, lush. Make them part of a ecosystem and not these cold. Like we just got to get these out because we got to build 100 of them in the next month. These things are hideous, in my opinion. And if we look up, some planned communities, we can build planned communities around them. But that's what my thoughts. And then let's see here, Mr. Fireball. We were literally talking about this early on. Hold on one second. Let me put this comment up. It's like the internet. This bubble is fueled by a certain group of people that have a lot of money, and the markets move and lobby. Where in the wild west of AI, which means there's opportunity for investing and infrastructure. Now, I agree. Now, here's what I'm going to say about Hudson Yard. I'm not even like the biggest fan, but if you zoom in on some of that, right? Like, how come data centers can't look like, well, that one just has a bunch of buildings in New York, but it's like, okay, you got green spaces, you have art. Like, why don't we put sculptures around the dog park? You can ride a bicycle, right? Like a planned community type of thing. All right. Like, why don't we have maybe a little ice cream spot or coffee shop, something? But all of these ugly industrial looking, yeah, that's a little sculpture of the Hudson Yard. Before you can walk up that thing, you could walk up there. Now I don't think they allow you to walk up there anymore because people kept jumping off. Kind of wild, huh? So like, I'd be so pissed off if I went to New York to check this thing out, and then like that one day, oh yeah, look, like you see that building at the right there, how it has like a soccer field at the top. Early days Hudson Yards becomes this, yeah, like little green space. That's nice. How come we can't use natural materials? It's all concrete and brick. It's ugly. It's hideous. And they're like, oh, it's security. It's our data. Security, whatever. I get it. Like you can make it nice. So but let me tell you, oh yeah, look, state of the art data. Look how ugly that looks. Not lush at all. But that's but going back to the internet boom, yes, absolutely. Here's my thought. Here's why I think we're in an AI bubble. Because it's a cesspool of companies that are working together. The average person has not benefited tremendously from AI. The average person has not benefited to the extent that this AI hype is being put up. I am in technology, so naturally I keep up with AI. I'm looking to benefit from AI. I understand that there is a bubble. I'm trying to benefit from this bubble as much as I can in my small little part of the world. But the reality is the mom that goes to clean a house to make ends meet, the dad that fixes roofs, the plumber, the blue collar jobs. What does this all mean? No, the person who's benefiting from AI are investors. These companies and these countries, right? Like the United Arab Emirates, the Qataris, all of these companies have so much money that they just need to put it into something. And most of these investments are coming from institutional investors. They're coming from pension funds that hold your money. They're coming from the government that tax you to invest in these companies, right? Like the United States had a deal with Intel to be like 20% owner essentially of profits that they make outside the country. So they're investing in Intel. The United States, where do they get that money? From you and me. We're not seeing that money back. Taxes only flow one way. Where's my return? And now they're gonna say, oh, like, well, I don't know what they're spending our money on. Certainly not healthcare, military. Certainly not infrastructure. Can't even have decent looking city parks. They're all freaking filled with crack addicts everywhere. If I see another crack addict, and not only me get on the tangent, I don't even know how people buy crack. You just go up to somebody and say, "Do you have the crack?" Because they're everywhere. Now I saw this freaking video of just changed my whole perspective. Like, drug addicts use toilet paper in public bathrooms to clean their needles. I saw this video online, and maybe that's probably the sentiment of the year or of the decade. I saw this video online, right? Whenever it starts there, but they like use the toilet paper to clean their needles, right? But they don't like take off the toilet paper. They just get the roll of toilet paper, they stick their needle in, they whatever. Then I'm like, yeah, I changed my whole mind. So now I'm gonna start having to walk around with my own toilet paper. So many freaking problems in this world. I'm like, is this decade just like awful? Like, now, granted, because of the history of this country, I know that there have been worse decades. But has there always been this level of like just weird problems? Give me 1 second, guys. Oh, okay, gotcha. So at the end of the day, I'm getting a comment here. At the end of the day, what are my thoughts? It's AI is coming. AI is here. Is it really benefiting you and me? Probably not. Not right now. Who it is benefiting is large companies and a few select people who are really, really, really taking the opportunity to build, right? Like when those websites from the .com bubble were coming up, pets.com, diapers.com. People were just building these sites. So they're like, let's see what can happen, because now it can reach a lot more people. It is so much easier to build apps now. It's so much easier to build a product. It's so much easier to just get your foot in the door from 0 to 1. Do I think most people are going to do it? Absolutely not. But the opportunity is there. And I forgot the name of the movie, but it's a popular one. But to be successful, you either got to be first, best, or cheat. All right. Like, and if you don't want to cheat, then you better be the best. And sometimes that's out of your control. So just be first. And right now, you can be first in a lot of AI things. There are so many problems. There are so many companies that aren't using it. I'm in it every day, so it feels like I'm inundated with it. Right? We didn't even talk about Lovable using the new app or Claude Code, an amazing tool. Like, you can just spin up anything. But what's going to happen eventually is it's going to be like the .com bubble, where it's going to burst. Just make sure you're in it before it does. Make sure you're not over leveraged. It's other companies' monies that are going to be investing. What you want to do is be part of the first 1,000 websites on the internet. You want to be part of, hey, here's this new app solving this particular problem for this particular group, this niche. Look at going to conferences for specific things. All of these conferences now, I don't care if it's the orthodontist convention, the freaking humanitarian aid of America convention, lawyers conventions. All of these conferences are just talking to business owners on how they can use AI to leverage and scale their business. And these people that are doing these jobs, they don't know how to do it. They don't know how to use AI. I mean, a lot of them, I can guarantee you, because I do this for a living, they don't even know how to set up an email, right? Like, I don't even need you to figure that out anymore. But it's so easy now that you can just go on, say, hey, what's your problem that you're trying to fix in your business? Oh, my accounting is this, or I pay a software. I don't think people understand how much money these companies pay for enterprise level softwares. Salesforce, thousands of dollars a year, tens of thousands of dollars if you're a large company. You can create something that's specific, but Salesforce has a lot of tools and blah, blah, blah. Most companies don't need all of it. If you're just a small company, you just need X, Y, and Z. You can vibe code that. You can just get it from 0 to 1. You can just produce that particular product for that particular industry, right? Like, I don't care what it is. You can create a CRM for taco trucks that just focuses on taco trucks. Cloud code, boom, boom, boom. Start, put it out. Then you go to a bunch of taco trucks. I haven't seen a taco truck convention, and but I'm sure it would be fire if we had one. We'd be fire if we had one. But farming, there's a lot of farming tools out there, and farmers not really technical, but you can just start going to these farming conventions. And now, because the barrier to entry is so low, you could just offer it at dirt cheap prices. Like, hey, we just need you to sign up. We just need you to do this or that. And farmers are like, oh yeah, shoot, here's the problem that I have. Because a lot of these farming enterprises are a lot bigger than people think. They have these machines that they need to track. I mean, I've gotten to know so much about farming that I never thought I'd really know. But at the end of the day, these guys, even though they're not necessarily technical, they are in the forefront of ag tech is a big thing. These machines they're geospaced, they're self-driving. You got, vaccination tracking for all of your animals. They're managing freaking maternity cycles, all of these things. How can you be a part of just creating something in this bubble to get it built? To just like it doesn't even have to be anything spectacular. It just has to solve one particular problem. What problem? Like, and what I would love for you to create in this bubble, or for you to be, is somebody who, I talk to a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people about a lot of problems. But what I tell people is, when you can position yourself as the person that does this for this, meaning if I'm talking to somebody who has a small candy shop and they're having an inventory problem, right? Because they don't know when actually, real world scenario here, we're getting a lot of eggs now from these chickens. I just bought more chickens next episode. And now I'm like, how do we track when these eggs came, and like what eggs need to be? Because we have some fertilized eggs and we got some non-fertilized, we got blah, blah, blah. So tracking eggs, is there an egg tracking software out there? And if I'm talking to somebody about that and they just say, hey, I have a guy who built this egg tracking software just for freaking tracking eggs, right? $20 a month, $50 a month, whatever. You'll be surprised how many people would buy it. And now when I'm talking to other homesteaders, other people in my little farming community that I'm trying to get to know, when we start talking about the same problem, they're like, oh yeah, shoot, I forget. Like, I have to still write the eggs on the cartons. And like, literally, I was like, do not write on those cartons. We're going to use those cartons again for our own personal stuff. So I don't want to keep scratching out dates. Little stuff like that. You need to be the person that's like, yes, this person does this. And most of us aren't there in life. We do stuff, but it's not marketable. So when I do know somebody that might need it, you're not top of mind of like, oh yeah, this person actually does that for this type of problem. You want me to connect you with them? And if you can get there, if you just get 1, 2, 3, or 4 clients, that's going to be the speed ramp to you benefiting from this AI bubble. Because everything's a bubble. I mean, we're in real estate bubble, AI bubble. Your job is a bubble. Your job is only as good as until it freaking goes bankrupt, right? Like, ride it while it lasts, save some money, invest it, but don't think it's going to be there forever. Everything's a bubble. You can't control it. Life's a bubble. Yep, sorry. If you didn't know, eventually you might not be here. Right? The bubble's going to burst. We just hope that it bursts in your late 80s, 90s, if you're fortunate enough, hundreds, and not in your early 20s, 30s, or whatever. Um, and that's it, guys. Like, don't. Sometimes you just can't fight. You just can't fight the wave. You can't go against everything. You have to understand where the tide is going, and then you just have to ride. You have to make your own lane in that wave. Make your own lane, and that's what I try to do. And we're going to talk about more of these products that I've been working on other episodes. But today, I just was looking at what the direction of AI is, and I'm not seeing anything that I truly love. But Cloud Code is amazing. You guys learn that. Just start doing projects. Just start building stuff. Everybody should have a personal website and a portfolio of stuff that they're building. And that way you can just showcase it to whoever might need it, if that's your thing. On the other hand, maybe on Friday we'll talk about it. If you don't care about any of this stuff, good for you. If you don't care about any of this stuff and you're like, well, whatever, I'm still using my freaking typewriter, my rotophone. I don't want to keep up with this AI nonsense. I don't like that is also okay. Like I want to talk about also, because this is just me talking to you guys. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm just telling my thoughts. There is a place and time for everything. And not everything has to be, oh, I got to make money off of this, or I got to be an entrepreneur. I'm in a phase and stage in my life where I'm not even encouraging people to get into entrepreneurship anymore. I'm like, if you want to do it, you can do it. If not, you're good. You're fine. Don't worry about it. Because I don't know that I even love it anymore. Before I was excited. Oh yeah, let's build stuff. Now I'm like, I just want to be left alone. It's hard. Like, you almost have to be crazy, like, because I don't want to misguide anybody either. Because you're gonna build an app, then what? Then you got to sell the app. Then you got to manage the customer relationships. Then you got to improve it. Oh, you got to investors. So it's not easy. And if there is a different reward system that you can get from it, it's a monetary reward. If you're chasing the money, I'm telling you that this is where money is at. If that's what you're chasing, I don't care. But if you're chasing joy, peace, if you're chasing creativity, if you're chasing, like, some people are very engineering and scientific, great. Like, they're like, I don't care about the money. I just want to do cool stuff. And I know a lot of those people, they just like to build. They don't want the business aspect of it. And that's okay too. What I'm telling you is, use this tool for what you want. It doesn't have to be a entrepreneurial venture. It could just be, hey, there's a new tool. I want to use it to just advance what I love. It doesn't have to be money. But if it is, then get it while it's hot. And the next time it's going to be hot, it's going to be here on the Ask Dom Nat Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern. The fastest 30 minutes of your day to make you an overall more informed person. My name is Dominique Pereira, but you might know me as Ask Dom Nat.